Hi, and welcome back to Blue's Garden. What to plant for 1st of March. And also let's take a look at the seedlings and see how they're doing. Hi everybody, 1st of March, and we are that much closer to spring, actual outdoor spring. Of course, since last we saw a video from me, we got a major storm. So just getting through that first storm, and then, that last storm, and then let's take a look at what I've planted. I opened the back door barely. It's about 6 inches on the back step, and then as you go down, each step is 6 inches. The bottom is a good solid 24 to 28 inches, depending on front or back. The garden is buried, so yeah, getting out there is going to be a challenge. Maybe not this week. So the storm was pretty bad, and the winds were obscene. Very high winds. Plow wake was just about shoulder height, right next to the plow. Had a wonderful meal, and of course, woke up the next morning. By the way, that cranberry apple sauce is stuff that I made at home. But woke up the next morning, and the plow wake was back up to mid-hip height. So, heck of a storm. I got a couple of varieties of some habanero, some more pepper that I wanted to try out. So let's take a look at sowing a little bit more habanero seed. First up is habanero Caribbean red peppers. Now, I know I've mentioned this before, but I am not a spicy pepper guy. Bell pepper is too spicy for me. Habanero is way too spicy. But I do use this for some cooking, some dehydrating, and for making some hot sauces. I love to give things away as presents, and a lot of my family loves habanero. So I'm putting in a 6-pack of these, and I'll do a couple of seeds in each. We'll see what comes and what doesn't. Next up after that, and by the way, they are going to go in... next up is habanero Caribbean orange pepper. Is similar. They're just slightly different end stage. They're very, very similar varieties. Again, these are tiny seeds like tomato seeds and pepper seeds. And the general rule of thumb is about twice the depth of the size of the seed. So now you know these are small seeds. That means they don't go very deep. Eighth to a quarter inch. So really, they'll go in, and then there'll be a slight amount on top, a little bit of dirt on top. So 2 different varieties of habanero that I'm going to do. So that's a total of 3 that I'm growing, habanero seeds. Next up, as I mentioned, I will then coat a tiny amount, 1/8 to a quarter inch on top. Tap it down so that there's good seed to soil contact. Well, seed to starter contact. And because you don't want the seeds to dry out, we are going to wet that down with a spray bottle, and then I will water from the bottom water, the 6-packs themselves. So first up, spray bottle, get everything good and moist on top. It's already moist soil below, good and moist on top. And then I will put them in a tray on the grow light shelf and get a little bottom watering. Thought I would also sow some more herbs. Sow some more herbs. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the herbs that I'm putting in. I like to do that every few weeks so that my herbs I can harvest some, and I'll always have more coming along. Next up is some herbs. I'm going to start with some Italian oregano. Oregano, parsley, basil, I grow all the time, and so I'm just constantly seeding this, starting them. And that'll be 12 months of the year. I grow some down in the basement. I grow some outside as soon as it's warm enough. I am constantly using these herbs, dehydrating them, using them fresh, so I'm constantly seeding. So Italian oregano, tiny seeds, very tiny seeds, very light amount, barely surface seed. Label everything. Did 2 little squares, 3.5-inch squares of oregano. Label, 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 most important, and on the shelf. And now let's do a little once over on the grow lights. Just see where the seedlings are to date, those that have grown in the past. Let's do a little review, see where we're at after. Well, some of them are as much as 3 weeks, and some of them are only a few days old, the seedlings. Seedlings. Let's take a look. Up first is the Walla Walla onions. They are coming along nicely. I just have 1 batch of them. I have 2 of these red Weathersfield. They seem to also be doing well, good germination. White Sweet Spanish is the first batch in front, and then in back is Pompeii White. The Pompeii White is a little smaller, more like a cooking onion. The White Sweet Spanish, I'm sure plenty of people are familiar with a white onion. And then the Utah Yellow, my wife likes that more, so I have more of those. I tend to cook with the red Weathersfield, and she tends to like the Utah Yellow. So that's that part of the onion. And over here I have 1 batch of Tokyo long white bunching onion, 1 batch of red beard bunching onion, a small batch of Zabroon shallots in the back, and then some leeks, alto leeks. Here we have, in the back, long purple eggplant. I have a 6-cell, and it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Decent germination. 1 is definitely dead. This one in front here is dead. And these guys I'm not sure what's going on with. But at least I've got 8 or so decent ones. I have a 6-pack of lemon aiji, and it looks like only 1 germinated, has survived. Looks like 1, 2, 3 have died, possibly damping off. Hard to tell. The habanero is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not bad germination for the habanero. These are habanada, and it looks like I only got 2. And then the sweet banana, 1, 2, 3. Golden California Wonder, now this is a bell pepper, 1, 2, 3 of those. 1 of the big red, and it looks like 1, 2, 3 have died, probably damping off. Now, these 2 habanero are habanero Caribbean red and habanero Caribbean orange. Those I just planted this week, so those haven't even come close to germinating. These are the Romas I first planted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 or so, and out of that there's probably 5 or 6 really good ones and maybe 3 or 4 that might make it. All right, 2 oreganos were just planted, so they are about what I expect. Lavender, you are beginning to see, is actually starting to germinate. I put a bunch of seeds in there because it usually doesn't come in a ton. So that's the lavender and oregano. Purple coneflower, 1, 2, 3-ish. 4, So far, that's what we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nasturtium is beginning to pop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Possibly 6 out of that 6-pack. And I don't expect a lot of these zinnia. These are really old seeds. I'm not sure how valuable they are. But I did a 6-pack of the zinnia, and I'm not sure what I'm going to get out of that. All right, over here. Amish paste, 1, 2, 3, 4. Amish paste, 1, 2, 3, 4. Baby Roma, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 6-pack. Probably more like a 9 seeds in there. Sorry, Black Roma. Those are Black Roma. 5 out of the 6-pack. Baby Roma, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But really, there's probably 5 or 6 decent ones. And then San Marzano, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, I'm not too sure about that 9th one, though. But decent germination. Starting to see something happening over here on the sweet potato. So that's nice. I'd like to see some more growth on those slips. And Little Gem Butterhead. I've got some lettuce growing. I've got some oregano on the right back. Some celery. They usually don't regrow into nice stalks, but I'll get some small thin ones, and I'll use the celery greens for cooking. And some salad mix. Some greens, some beet greens, and just a couple of different kind of greens for some lettuce. And that catches you up to where we are for the 1st of March. Planted a few things, sowed a few seeds, and a nice little seedling update so far of what's going on. The peppers and the onions are the most important thing to get in sooner. The onions will go in outside sooner, and the longer they have, the better chance you get some nice growth before they start bulbing up when it gets to be that time, the long days. The peppers just take a long time to germinate, so I like to get them in earlier. Now, I've also started some flowers and some herbs. The herbs you've heard me say many times. I tend to use a lot in my cooking, so I tend to replant my herbs all the time. Onions, basil, peppers, oregano, basil, parsley. Those are important for me to keep planting, thyme occasionally. The lavender, I just like to put in lots of lavender. I like to grow them out in my front lawn, front area. I pick the lavender seed and pods because I use them when I'm cooking. Anyway, that's an update so far for 1st of March. If you've made it this far, thank you very much. It means a lot to me. Please like, share, and subscribe. That helps the almighty algorithm. That helps me grow, and that helps you grow. Thank you very much.